tackle, and then again it's Derek Johnson halting him after 4. Got a little supervision, a little sim supervision of that move of Peterson.
Oh, that is a terrific move. When you can go sideways, which a lot of these skilled players can nowadays in the NFL. Look at that. Directly sideways and then going forward. And it just gives you more, reaffirms what you're trying to do. Don't take a chance and let your good skill guys, that time it was Adrian Peterson, take a simple play and get the extra yards.
Benny Sapp down here on Muhammad. And 2nd down and 6. Pressure. And Grossman got away from Ali. Able to fire it downfield and hits his target. It's Berrien with a block. What a block it was. And Berrien has it down to the 23-yard line. That's Muhsin Muhammad, who came up to deck one of the Chiefs, and it goes for 21 yards.
2nd time this year. Watch Rex Grossman. Tamba Hali almost knocks it out of his hands. He doesn't because he had 2 hands on the football. It allows him to get away, escape, and then find Berrien down the field wide open. Last week against the San Diego Chargers, Rex Grossman was ripped again with the football, but he had 2 hands on it, and he did not fumble.
That was Patrick Surtain, who was flattened by Muhammad, and Benson stopped quickly by Napoleon Harris.
You know why I bring that up, Jim? It's so important for a quarterback because you never know when you're going to get the pressure. Keep 2 hands on it. That's when you fumble, and Rex Grossman made a point of working on it this offseason with his new quarterback coach, Pep Hamilton. And you know what? When you work on it all the time, it becomes you. And now that is part of Rex Grossman, just keeping his hands on the football.
Yeah, committed to muscle memory. That's what he talks so much about with us this week. It's just proper execution and mechanics. And he's looking to fire again. No, and through the arms of Rasheed Davis. 3rd and 9 coming up.
Well, the Chiefs, they're already out of their comfort level on both sides of the ball.
I said earlier, Palmer, by the way, in that game had 5. He tossed 6 touchdowns in a losing cause to Cleveland. You see the fantasy leaders. Lewis over 200 yards. One, he broke 66 for a touchdown. And Steve Smith caught 4 touchdowns for Carolina, but that 2 in a loss. That's not right. He had 3 touchdowns. So now from the 20 on 3rd down, and pressure again, and it's Derek Johnson has a 2nd sack on the afternoon.
I didn't see the sack. Derek Johnson, it's a blitz from the outside. Brackenridge comes. Derek Johnson comes off his blocker. It's a good thing they sack him. Davis, wide receiver for the Bears, was wide open down the middle of the field, and so was Muhsin Muhammad on the sideline.
But he had no time to find him. This will be a 47-yard try. Robbie Gould's career long is 49. And again, he's got a new holder just signed overnight. Dirk Johnson to hold it. Gould to kick it, and what a beauty it is, and he hooks it home. 17-0 Chicago with 2:25 to go first half. Coming up, the Sprint halftime report with scores and highlights from all the early action, and they update here from the 4 o'clock games with JB, Dan, Shannon, and Boomer, and Coach Cowher. The Blues brothers enjoying what they're seeing so far. Kick comes to Drummond at the 6. He's got 6 career returns for touchdowns, and he's going nowhere with this one. It's the same man who took out Colquitt, Jamar Williams.
Well, there's been something consistent so far in this NFL season. It's the Bears defense. Last week, they were all over LT. And this week, it's LJ, Larry Johnson. Just hard to run and get down the field when so many defenders are near the line of scrimmage. So much talent and so physical. Look at the numbers.
8 carries, 21 yards for LJ. He suffocated LT last week. And of course, they take the whole game plan away from Kansas City when you're up 17-0. This is forcing them to do things they don't want to do. We approach the 2-minute warning here. Hewitt in the pocket now. Got a man open, it's Wilson. Wide open, past the 30, past the 40, and galloping near midfield before he is bounced out by Manning at the 47-yard line. 31-yard gain.
I tell you, that was some job by Damon Huard to look to the right side. You can tell that's where he wants to throw it. I don't know what makes him do it, but he sees Wilson out in the left flat. That is a terrific job and a good run after the catch.
Kansas City has a full allotment of timeouts, and that's their first down in 25 minutes. And we do reach the 2-minute warning. Maybe the Chiefs can put together something before the half. They're down 17-0. 2 minutes to go, second quarter. And we're out of the 2-minute break with Huard operating from the gun at the 48. And it's Larry Johnson. And that's a good gain, his best gain of the game. LJ quick 10 yards there for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's his first carry of 10 yards in the last 3 games. And you go back to the playoff game against the Colts, and then last week he had not had a rush for 10 yards since the last game of the regular season last year. Now Huard fires it from the pocket. And that's Gonzalez. And finally ridden down by Manning at the 15. Reaching up high and over the arms of Hunter Hillenmeyer for 27 yards. And a timeout called by Kansas City. And Huard loosening up that left shoulder and left arm a little bit. Timeout Chiefs.
Today.
Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, the Chiefs threatening for the first time today.
Damon Huard had some time looking for Tony Gonzalez. Oh, and Hunter Hillenmeyer just reacts to the football just a little bit late, and he gets by him for a big gain for the Chiefs.
They're at the 16, their deepest point of the day. Huard lofts it back of the end zone, and it is caught. What a catch by the rookie Dwayne Bowe.
He's thrown it to Tony Gonzalez, and Dwayne Bowe cuts in front and takes it away.
The big fella Gonzalez says, wait a minute, that would have tied me with Shannon Sharpe with 62 career touchdowns for a tight end.
And I think he is going to catch the touchdown anyway. It's to the inside receiver, and Dwayne Bowe sees it's going up the field, turns and runs for it.
Yeah, Gonzalez definitely would have caught that.
And picks it off for a touchdown. Boy, that's what you want. A receiver who will attack the football.
Good toss, too, by Huard with Urlacher coming in on him. Dave Rayner, their new kicker, the extra point out of the Colquitt hold. And the Chiefs able to put some points on the board before halftime. First touchdown for Bowe.
And out of nowhere, look how high Dwayne Bowe goes up. Picks it off and gets his first touchdown.
A little talent in that move, you think?
Boy, there was. That's what the Chiefs want to see.
Look at this with our supervision.
Oh, man, jumps up. I tell you what that does. It settles the game back down for the Kansas City Chiefs. They can go back to their original game plan and see if they can just man up and stop the Chicago Bears.
Will they kick it to Hester?
Oh, I hope not.
It's Rayner. He's got a huge leg. And angling this one. And Hester, oh, that is a huge mistake. Look at your right foot, Devin.
I don't know why they threw the penalty flag. It's not a penalty for the receiver to step out of.
Well,
oh, wait, no.
Mike Carey will explain.
Kickoff out of bounds. The receiving team will have the ball 30 yards from the spot of the kick. First down.
Kick out of bounds results in the ball being spotted.
Because Devin Hester has 1 foot out of bounds.
Exactly what he was doing.
This is, if he knew that, then that is a terrific play. That's right. That's why I corrected myself.
Absolutely.
Now, special team coaches really go over that rule with their return people to take advantage of a situation just like that.
I wasn't so sure at first glance because the right foot wasn't down when he first kind of touched it. But basically he seals it as an out-of-bounds kick. So it goes out to the 40-yard line, and the Bears can do something here before the half. Trying to cross them up with a running play. We got a flag here. Peterson for 1 yard.
I was getting ready to get on Devin Hester, and I realized the rule.
Incidental face mask. Defense.
This one also going against Kansas City.
Penalty, second down.
Again, we got JB, Dan Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher coming up on the Sprint halftime report. Shannon almost found himself joined at the top of the all-time tight end touchdown stat.
It's just a matter of time. Him and Dan, they can both sit together and talk about how their records are going to fall this year. I'm sorry, but at least they got some records that are going to fall.
You know, Heward, I think Heward was hurt a couple of plays back.
Took a big hit.
Yep. And here's the pass over to Peterson. And he's bounced out by Ty Law.
But I want to go back to that kickoff real quick, Jim. Look what it does. When you try to kick away from a returner, you can kick it out of bounds. It breaks down your coverage. It really just goes against what you practice for all preseason. And the same with punting. Try to kick it away. You kick it out of bounds. What do you shank it? It goes short. And it's just another way of giving the opposing team, like the Bears, good field position.
All about trying to keep it away from Hester. And now the Bears are back in Kansas City territory as it's Adrian Peterson with another grab and another 9 yards.
Well, I'll tell you, Rex Grossman doing a good job. He's going to make the Kansas City Chiefs come up and play tough.
Timeout Bears, 58 seconds left in the half. There about Damon Heward.
Yep.
The pass that he threw to Tony Gonzalez down the middle for 27 yards. He took a shot right underneath the rib area, but he's still able to throw a touchdown the next play to Dwayne Bowe. Now the Bears with one timeout on the 43-yard line. And Grossman deep down the field for Berrien. Underthrew him, and the ball is incomplete. Almost picked by Jared Page. Incomplete, it's ruled.
I didn't see what Rex Grossman, why he's throwing it deep down the middle. Well, he throws it across the field. He thought Berrien was going to keep that same route, and Bernard Berrien changes the way he's running, goes behind the defender, and almost causes an interception.
So second down and 10. Looking for a screen over to Peterson, looking for the one-handed catch. And as Patrick Surtain had a read on it anyway, so it falls incomplete. That's better off for the Bears.
You know, the Bears were throwing those short passes and just getting 8 and 10 yards a clip. I know they were trying to go for the score, but the first thing you want to do is at least give yourself a field goal chance. They probably need close to 10 yards to get a shot at kicking a long field goal.
Got to think that they need to get around that 31, 32-yard line. Gold's career long again, 49. Third down pass is deflected. That's Derek Johnson. What an active afternoon for Johnson with 2 sacks. Deflects that one.
Well, that's what the Kansas City Chiefs need. Since Jared Allen, their defensive end, is out, he's their terrific pass rusher, and they need a playmaker on defense, and Derek Johnson's a guy that can do it. He can get in the backfield, cause you to have losses in the run game. He can sack the quarterback. He can cover guys, so he's showing those talents today.
Patrick Manley back to Dirk Johnson. Manley, the snapper, for so many years here. And they let this one go, and it is into the end zone. Kansas City does have 2 timeouts with 33 seconds left. And Heward with a quick word with Coach Edwards.
And what do you do in this situation, Jim? I don't know. They could come out and kneel on it, but they'll probably try a draw play, maybe a screen, just to test the waters and
see if you can pick up anything on the first play anyway.
Yeah, you're looking for that.
Nothing too dangerous is what you would expect.
It's almost like 4th and inches when you don't want to go for it. You try to draw them off sides. And that's the way these 2-minute drills are when the clock is against you. You're kind of that way, right? You stick your big toe in the water before you jump in. I know you.
Every time.
You test everything. You got to have lots of information before you make a decision.
Got to run it all through the computer first.
I don't know if you got a computer.
In my head, here's Larry Johnson, and they do go with the round game. Oh, the ball's out. The ball is out, and the Bears say they have it.
Oh, my, that is just...
So they try to go conservative with a run that they thought would cross them up.
Here you are trying to basically run the clock out. I did not see the football come out.
There's a lot of information being filtered through here. Bears still think they may have a recovery.
Well, once we get the call, we could look at some replays, but we're going to have a chance to look. Is Larry Johnson down before the football comes out? He's down.
On the field
definitely.
is a fumble recovered by Chicago. First
This inside of 2 minutes will be a booth review.
Well, the ground can cause a fumble, but it looks like the defender hit him here. Yes, he is hit. Oh, but does he regain his balance?
I think you'd have to say he did.
The force of the hit took him down. That's what. So the ground can cause a fumble, but Brian Urlacher hit him. That's why he went to the ground.
So they are going to review it with 12 seconds to go. Will the Bears get a shot here before the half? Will they keep it?
Give it to me, 1, 2, 3.
Introducing Applebee's new Ultimate Trios. Great taste.
Just before the half, and from this point they have time for one play. They do have one timeout, talking about Chicago.
Well, a couple things. If there wasn't a fumble, they would have called timeout quicker and maybe got a few plays. But the fumble, it does occur, but the question is, did the contact bring him down by Brian Urlacher? I say yes.
And if it did, then it is a fumble, is what you're saying.
There it is. No, contact took him to the ground, so once his arm hits, he is down.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll see. Unless I didn't read that little, what do you call that? That little small writing sometimes in a contract?
The footnote?
Yeah, the fine print. There we go. Thank you, Lance Barrow.
You're pretty good about that.
That fine print.
You got both offensive units on the field.
Yeah, I love that.
Urlacher's actually near the sideline, so both sides think they're going to get the favorable call here.
I asked Damon Hewitt, I said, have you played against Brian Urlacher before? He goes, yes. Or met him, and he goes, yes. I said, what'd you think? He's really big in person, and he plays big on the field. But to the eye, when you watch this run, this is probably what confused the officials. They go, well, nobody took him to the ground. Because you could not even see Brian Urlacher come out from behind the blocker.
After review, the runner's elbow was down before the ball came loose. Therefore, the ball will be brought back to that spot. 2nd and 1 on the 29.
Kansas City ball.
I know one thing, they'll take a knee now. If you're on the field, could you see? Oh, it's tough to tell. If you're a referee, it happens so fast. And, most of the time you're trying to get out of the way of these guys, too, so you don't get run over. Well, the clock should start running.
So a Rex Grossman touchdown pass in this one to John St. Clair, backup offensive lineman, and a Devin Hester punt return measuring 73 yards. A Robbie Gould field goal. Kansas City with a touchdown pass to the rookie Dwayne Bowe. And now the clock is running. Ewert, though, wants a quick play. See if he can get anything going. Back to Larry Johnson. Urlacher, though, rides him down from behind, and the half is here. It's the end of the first half. 17-7 Chicago. Back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You are watching the NFL on CBS.
Sprint halftime report. I'm James Brown along with my guys, Dan Marino, Coach Bill Cowher, Shannon Sharpe, and Boomer Esiason. Halftime Bears on top by 10 over Kansas City. Let's get you caught up on the rest of the scores. Shannon.
Jay Cutler looking for the slot machine, Brandon Stokely. 10 yards later, he finds it as they're going in right before the half. 17-3, Broncos on top.
Dan. And Tavares Jackson, play action pass. He's looking. Go make a play. Jackson. Yeah. He gets in. Tying the game, 7-7. And then the Dolphins, Dallas. No, how about this team? No offense from the Jets in this game. Kyle Bowler, touchdown pass right here to Willis McGahee. They're 17-3 at half. Jets 63 total yards. Now it's the Dolphins and Dallas. There you go. Barber, he comes in, second effort, gets it in the end zone, putting Dallas up 10-3. The score is 10-6. All right, Arizona jumps out to a 17-0 lead. Here comes Edgerrin James off the left side. Matt Hasselbeck throws a touchdown pass late in the second quarter, 17-7 as they start the third period.
Earlier in the day, it was all Pittsburgh. Willie Parker's second consecutive 100-yard game right here.
How about the Bengals and the Browns? 96 total points. How many? 96. Carson Palmer, 6 touchdown passes. Chad Johnson goes into the dog pound, gets beer dumped all over. No, good for him. And Derek Anderson, that's right, Derek Anderson, 5 touchdowns on a day. They roll 51-45. And the Indianapolis Colts in Tennessee, Peyton Manning being Peyton Manning, 20 of 8 of 42, 312 yards and a touchdown. Vince Young at 184 yards passing, 53 on the ground here. One last-ditch effort to try to get a field goal to win the game. It's not enough. Indianapolis wins.
Who would have ever thought that Houston Texans would be 2-0? Thanks to Gary Kubiak, Matt Schaub, and Andre Johnson. Big day for the guys on offense. And here, Nick Goins fumbles this ball. Have anyone ever heard of the Holy Roller? Dave Casper, Oakland Raiders. Reminiscent. Kevin Walters on it in the end zone.
Amen.
David Gerard beats Joey Harrington in this clash right here, 272 yards on the day.
Deuces are wild. Jeff Garcia, 2 touchdown passes. Joey Galloway, 2 touchdown receptions. And Cadillac Williams, 2 touchdown rushes as they roll 31-14 over the Saints. And Brett Favre, big day in the Meadowlands, is 29 of 38, 286 yards and 3 touchdown passes. That puts him within 3 of tying the all-time touchdown record. Held by me. Okay.
4th and 1. Mike Nolan said, I'm not punting this football because I got fabulous Frank Gore. Playing with a heavy heart. His mom passed early in the week. She would be so proud of you, son. 17-16, 49ers win.
Dan just didn't want to get that name out during the highlights, did he?
You know. Who is me?
Me. That's me. At least it wasn't in the third person. And I got it by 3. We'll take it to the second half of the game between Kansas City and Chicago. Dan Marino is his name right after this.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. This is the NFL at sprint speed. Sprint ahead.
John, you guys.
We are back in Chicago. The Bears leading by 10 at halftime as Chicago got things cranking in the second quarter. These two teams came out energized, feeling each other out the first quarter. Then things began to open up in the second stanza. The Bears on the board first with the toss. Grossman to St. Clair. Then the electrifying kick return by Hester. Chiefs got a little hope at the end. Bo knows that pass was intended for Gonzalez, but the Chiefs down 10. Back in a moment.
Don't miss the season premiere.
Bears will be receiving the second half kickoff. They lead it by the score of 17-7. And again, hello, friends. Jim Nance, Phil Simms here, Soldier Field, and your thoughts about what we're going to see here.
Well, I think the first half, we saw the Bears just dominate. But the Kansas City Chiefs, that late score, it really changes the atmosphere for the second half. Now the Chiefs can go, look, we're one turnover away from being right where we want to be. The Chiefs want to come in today, play a certain style and they want to try to steal it late. So being 17-7, they still have that opportunity.
Looked like Benson was starting to get things rolling pretty good there in the second quarter. Here are the first half numbers, including the category of 3 and outs, which the Chiefs 4 times were on the field real quick and back to the sideline.
What 3 and outs do, of course, it hurts your team, but it gives the opposing offense that rhythm that they're looking for. When it doesn't work, get back on the field real quick and make it happen.
First touchdown of the season for Chicago. Grossman touchdown toss to Big John St. Clair. And then the 73-yard dash by Devin Hester on the punt return. Gold true from 47. 17-0 at that point. And Dwayne Bowe comes in to make the leaping grab for the Chiefs' first touchdown of their season. And a reminder, this game is brought to you in high definition here on CBS. And Dave Rayner with Hester, the deep returner. Remember, Justin Medlock had won the battle in camp. And they let him go after missing one last week. Sign Rayner this week, the former Green Bay kicker. Hester is pummeled at the 15-yard line. Nice award given here at halftime to the Chicago Bears and their community efforts. Larry Maneely, the president of the World Sports Humanitarian Hall of Fame, that's out of Boise, Idaho, was here to present the Chicago Bears and their community relations staff. That's led by Caroline Schrinker with the 2006 Pro Team Community Award for all their efforts in the Chicagoland community. Congratulations to the Bears, and this World Sports Humanitarian Hall of Fame is very special and growing. And something that if I was one of these athletes, I would think that would be about as great a Hall of Fame as you can make, be elected to. And here comes Benson with about a 6-yard run and showing some speed here and rhythm for Benson. Benson saying a little more about what you talked about in that first half, about how he was pressing. And you asked him about when he's pressing, what does that do? And he says, it's, you know, I'm just trying so hard that I end up using my brain and not my instincts. You're starting to see a little more instinctive type play here by Benson?
Oh, absolutely. I think running backs, they can come in the NFL and have instant success because it is just they feel it. It's instinctive.
It's Benson. Muhammad had someone right on his back, and there's the flag. Ty Law going to be flagged for the interference.
Kind of talked about it early when we saw that touchdown pass to John St. Clair.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. From the spot of the foul, automatic. First down.
And Jim, it is don't panic when the football is in the air. And Ty Law, a veteran, he has excellent coverage on Muhammad, but at the last second just falls into him and knocks him down. There was no place to throw that football, but got going forward so much, he bumped him, knocked him down, they throw the flag.
You see 50 picks in that time frame. Ty Law, so long a Patriot. First down after the 15-yard step off, and that's Benson. Tried to make a couple of moves, but unable to wrest free from Patrick Surtain. It's a loss of 2.
When you want to play safe on defense is what the Kansas City Chiefs want to do. Your corners, Patrick Surtain that time, Ty Law on the other side, they have to be very good tacklers anytime the football comes outside. And if you don't get that, then you have to change your defense and you open yourself up for big plays down the field.
Sets him back to second down, 12. Benson comes out of the backfield. McKee, the fullback, remains there to block as Muhammad has his first grab of the game. Muhsin from Grossman, who hit a bunch of different targets in that first half.
Yeah, he did. He did a really good job. Rex Grossman said to us, I have to be patient, especially early, and you're playing a team like the Chiefs. You want to do that because you don't want to give them momentum. And except for the last couple of throws of the first half, I thought he played the position about as well as you can play it. When they were open, he hit them.
He hit 8 different targets. 8 different receivers now that Muhammad's in the column. Third down, though, and Grossman flings it to the sideline, and Davis was the intended receiver. Again, it was Ty Law trying to lock down that sideline. Got flagged for an interference call, but not this time.
Yeah, excellent coverage down the field. Rex Grossman He analyzes the situation, says, oh, he's covered, so he tries to throw it behind the receiver, but that time too safe and too far behind.
Here's Dirk Johnson. Again, Maynard, their longtime punter, inactive with a groin injury, and Johnson really just signed overnight. Let fly a 50-yarder in that first half. This is Drummond trying to find some open space. Might be a little block in the back coming, and there is a flag. And this will set up the Chiefs if it goes against them, which I feel certain it will, back inside the 10-yard line. Well, they may have flags on both sides. And I see them, one on the near side 20 and one on the far side 15. It's Kieran Fox, who was playing on the special teams, made some plays in special teams today. They sorted out.
Trying to figure out which penalty is going to be more severe against Kansas City.
There are multiple fouls on the play, all by the receiving team. Holding, number 21 is declined. Illegal block in the back, 97 is declined. Illegal block in the
Fox.
back, 98 is accepted, half the distance to the goal. They retain possession, first down, timeout.
So a tough place to begin the third quarter for Herm Edwards. Chiefs down 17-7.
Check this out.
Herm Edwards' career as a coach, it's usually a mistake-free effort, including in penalties, usually the least penalized team. They got 6 today, no penalties against the Bears. So they start from the 6-yard line, and Johnson able to only gain 2 yards. Urlacher on the tackle.
It was interesting talking. Damon McIntosh coming out again, left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. Didn't play in the preseason.
Knee sprain may have re-aggravated it.
Yeah, second time he's gone out today.
Will Svitek will take his position. 71. There he is. Second down and 8. Bears defense ready to pounce. Heward flips it over. Wilson maybe back to the line of scrimmage, if that. Ridden out by Hunter Hillenmeyer. Comes off a 15-tackle game against San Diego. Hillenmeyer.
Just look at this, though, Jim. Look at the way they're playing defense. Everybody near the line of scrimmage. Only one safety back. They're just daring you to try to hold the football and throw it down the field, because they know if you do that, their pass rushers, which are very good, will get to you and cause a bad play.
So it's third down and 9. And they run it. Not going to make any mistakes. That's what they decide. Only a 1-yard gain for LJ. Ricky Manning Jr. on the tackle. Tommy Harris also. And Colquitt will be forced to punt near the goal line.
Yeah, they're just saying the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to put all the pressure on their defense.
Another 3 and out for Kansas City. That's now 5 times today. Jean-Philippe Darche is the long snapper. Colquitt standing 7 yards deep in the end zone. Hester, he's got a chance to get a little running start. There he goes. Hester to the 30. One more move to the outside, and he's down at the 19. Wow. I thought we might have a second return in the game, but it's a beauty. And the Bears, after that 30-yard run back, position in the red zone.
Well, I think he feels it, that's for sure. Cedric Benson said to us, I just got to get I want to feel it out there. Devin Hester is exciting and so quick.
Look at Adonijah, one block. Israel Adonijah and Hester, a 73-yard return for a touchdown in the first half. A 30-yard run back to set him up at the 19. Grossman. Dangerous pass that time. And a flag. And Grossman hobbling. It's also a flag in the backfield.
So I think it's a personal foul.
There are 2 fouls, both on the defense. Illegal contact, 50 is declined prior to the pass, and roughing the passer, number 90 is accepted. 15 yards, half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
Trying to double move to go down the field.
That's Turk McBride, the rookie from Tennessee, getting flagged for that hit. Boy, Grossman on his first drop back of the season last Sunday at San Diego. Sean Phillips came in.
Untouched.
Said it was definitely the hardest hit I've ever taken. You know, I like sometimes to take a little early hit just to get me into the game.
Get some contact.
But please, never again like that.
Well, we talked to him on Friday, and you asked him something. He says, yeah, my neck's still sore from the whiplash of the contact.
Got first and goal, just inside the 10. Takes to Benson, flipping it over to McKee. And that's Law reading it all the way. Nice play by the veteran. Bringing a different package now. Davis and Berrien return to the lineup. You know, out a tight end and a fullback.
Jim, the one thing I was going to say, Rex Grossman, he talked about his mistakes last year, how he's trying to improve as a quarterback. And he said to us, he goes, last year I made my mind up sometimes underneath the center where I was going to throw it. The ball would be snapped, the defense would change. That's where mistakes came from. He says, this year I'll wait till the ball is snapped to make my mind up.
Well, they're going with a running play, and they back up Benson. A loss of a yard. Donnie Edwards coming up. Man who returns to Kansas City where he started his career and then spent the last 5 years in San Diego. He told us last night how good it is to be back.
Well, that's right. And the defensive coordinator is Gunther Cunningham, who he attributes to letting him get in the NFL. He says, I came in the league, a little skinny linebacker. They saw something in him and they found the role for him, and here you are 12 years later.
Gunther believed in him. Said he's the first guy to say, hey, you can do it.
You can do this. That's right.
So he's reunited with Cunningham. Peterson comes into the backfield for Chicago. They're backing up now 2 consecutive plays. It's 3rd and goal. Grossman going underneath. Won't get them there. Davis takes a big wallop by Benny Sapp. And that'll bring out Robbie Gould. Some didn't like that contact. You see Reuben Brown mixing it up with Napoleon Harris. But no flags.
From the 10-yard line, not much you can do as a quarterback. They're going to drop everybody back, make you throw it underneath, and receivers know. Here comes the big hits because the defenders do not have to retreat very far since they're already in the end zone.
Now we've got a flag after all that.
It's going to be on Olin Kreutz, I think, for taunting.
If it is, it'll be the first penalty of the game against Chicago.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. The offense, number 57. 15-yard penalty. Dead ball foul.
Just made this. This is on Kreutz. Field goal try would have been from 23. Now it's going to be a 38-yard try.
Well, here's the hit is legal. It's fair. Trying to jar the football loose. He's still up there, Davis, so they're attacking the football. Nothing dirty, nothing wrong right there. And then the Bears offensive lineman trying to pick up for their wide receiver leads to a penalty.
And leads to Gould now. Again, 38-yard attempt from the left hash mark. Robbie Gould is good. Got to give it to the Chiefs, though, after that big return and a roughing the passer penalty. They do not give up the touchdown. They're still within 2 scores.
Don't touch my Bud Light.
Yeah, right. By Southwest Airlines. With Southwest Airlines' convenient nonstop flights, it's like having your own company plane. FedEx, Go Air, Go Ground, Go Football. And by the Comcast Triple Play. Experience TV, phone, and internet together like never before.
Just a beautiful day to be in Chicago. The MetLife Blimp, Snoopy One, showcasing some of the sights here in the Windy City. As you know, Phil, I know, then again, I guess you wouldn't know. It's a great city to get out and jog early in the morning.
What are you trying to tell me?
I couldn't get you out of bed this morning for the 4-mile run down the lakefront. What a sight it is down there. They had a half marathon going in.
You mean that fast walk you took?
That's what you call it. It's Drummond with a fast move out to the 27. And we're going to do a timeout in the field. Kevin Payne with the tackle. Damon Huard steps onto the field, down 13. Only 2 drives today of any consequence, and really the first one ended up with a punt anyway. That was 9-play drive. The 4-play drive led to a touchdown. Other than that, a lot of short series. Huard to Wilson. And Lance Briggs had him wrapped up. You know, the Chiefs this year are wearing a patch. There it is, the old AFL logo with the initials, though, LH. This was really the symbol, if you will, of the Super Bowl IV team. They wore this patch. The team, Hank Stram, where he won the Super Bowl over Minnesota. And they wear the patch now in honor of the great man Lamar Hunt. Passed away here in the last year. And no chance for Huard. Look at that Chief, the quarterback, and that Bear explosion. That's Briggs bursting through.
Lance Briggs on the blitz, times it perfectly. And that's what blitzing is all about, is spacing the defenders out and then timing the snap of the ball so that the offense has so little time to react. And Lance Briggs, that is a big play.
Brings up 3rd and 13.
They're just not going to play it safe, the Bears defense. That's what's making it tough on Kansas City, the attacking defense.
Alex Brown has returned. He had an ankle sprain in that first half, and that's Bennett running it. Punting time. Also update time to James Brown.
Hey, Jim, a key play, 49-yard punt return by Dallas's Patrick Creighton allows Tony Romo to show his escapability and tossing a 2-yarder to Tony Curtis. Dallas on top 17-13 in the third. Jim Nance, Phil Simms.
All right, JB, thank you. And you may have seen Damon Huard didn't exactly run off with any great agility. It's shaken up. Another 3 and out. That's 6 times in the game. Kansas City. Colquitt had some pressure. Hester tells everyone up ahead, back away. There was a mistake in that department last week that led to San Diego's first touchdown. Bears have the ball back. You can check out the new NFL.com Game Center for exclusive video highlights, stats, and photos from all of today's games, all at NFL.com. Little play action work here. Grossman was thinking long and now has to unload. That was Wilkerson giving chase to the quarterback. Bodies tangled with Donnie Edwards covering up Adrian Peterson on the sideline, and you see ice applied to the left wrist. Damon Huard, you have to think it was on the Lance Briggs blitz. Well, the very next play, look how tender he hands it off here to Bennett.
He switches hands and puts it in his right hand to hand it off.
Huard has completed his last 8 passes. It's Peterson shaking off a block or tackle. Ball popped out, but right back to him. Goes for 8 yards.
That is a nice run by Adrian Peterson. The Chiefs, they guess right. They have the defense, the linebackers coming that way. Olin Kreutz just pushes Derek Johnson a little bit. That makes him run past Adrian Peterson. And then good hustle from behind by Napoleon Harris.
Well, he couldn't afford, talking about Peterson, another fumble after the one last week that was so crucial late in the game against San Diego. Greg Wesley is in the secondary for the Chiefs. There's the pass to Clark. Almost horse-collared there. He's dragged down from behind by Pollard for 5 yards and a first. Let's go back to James Brown. Update time.
Hey, Jim and Phil, take a look at this excellent defensive play. Kevin Williams coming in to sack J.T. O'Sullivan, the backup for the Lions, getting out hurt. Ray Edwards picks it up and takes it 9 yards for the score. Vikings' third defensive score of the season, all tied at 17. Jim and Phil.
Thank you very much. They made up some ground there in a hurry. They were down 10, talking about the Vikings. The defense, which is a good one.
Kevin Williams, inside defensive lineman for Minnesota, is one of the best.
First down and 10, and intercepted. The Chiefs come up with it.
Well, that's what they've been waiting for. A second big turnover of the day. Rex Grossman overthrows the screen.
Napoleon Harris with his second takeaway at a fumble recovery early.
Are you like me?
After How I Met Your Mother, a night of premieres Monday, September 24th on CBS.
Napoleon Harris, he came off that Minnesota defense from a year ago, unrestricted free agent. Let's check out Damon Huard now back in there. And that left wrist, which he was applying ice to. Now completed 9 in a row as he hits Webb on the slant.
Let's look at Rex Grossman's interception, Jim. It's a screen pass. Watch Rex Grossman. Here he is. He's going to fall back, and as he falls back, it makes him throw the football even higher than he wants. He wants to make sure he gets it over the defensive lineman, but when you're throwing screens as a quarterback, your footwork is just as important then as it is when you're throwing it down the field. And Napoleon Harris rolled a strike.
He was trying to hit Garrett Wolf, the rookie running back who had just come in, trying to get it into his hands. Larry Johnson for only a yard. Tommy Harris stops him there. Let's go back to James Brown in the studio.
Oakland trying to make it a game, Jim and Phil. Take a look here. Josh McCown wanted to play despite being hurt. Hooking up with Jerry Porter. Wide open Jerry Porter. 46 yards to pay dirt. It is now 17-10 Denver late in the third. Back to Jim and Phil.
All right, thank you, JB. So McCown able to go today. A lot of speculation on that all week that it'll be Culpepper. Here's LJ on second down. That's Urlacher. He gets away from him and darts out of bounds near the 28. Pushed down by Tommy Harris. That goes for 6.
Well, we're getting later in the game. Is this the point where Larry Johnson says, they got to wear down on defense? And he was looking forward to playing this defense. Brian Urlacher, so fast, misses the tackle because they're fast. And he goes, when you play fast defenses, they over-pursue. But it hasn't worked in Larry Johnson's favor so far today.
Third down back. It is in. It's Bennett. Third down and 3. Huard, another slant play, and another first down. No, they say incomplete. Webb did not hold on to it. And it's Tillman shaken up.
What a job. He goes in and just rakes it out. It's in the stomach, and as they're coming down,
is that a catch?
Charles Tillman just pulls it out of there. He has to keep the football the whole time. The defender is taking him to the ground. Incomplete pass.
Crazy, man. Man, you all big time now. I never see you. What? Oh, man, you can see me anytime you want. You give me season tickets? Nah, check it. If you get this network, you get football 24/7 on the NFL Network.
Get in the game with Dish Network and get football 24/7 on NFL Network and games 5 nights a week for just $29.99 a month.
Happens everywhere I go.
Want all this football? Get in the game with Dish Network.
It's Endless Shrimp. The only time of year to enjoy all the irresistible shrimp you can eat. All of your favorites are back, plus new buffalo shrimp. It's Endless Shrimp for a short time at Red Lobster. Come see what's fresh today.
I am your bank manager. This is a robbery down on the floor. Down on the floor! Give your money to the tellers.
Getting robbed by your bank? Come to E-Trade and earn 8 times the national average for safe.
Come to the ground. Yep. Football's in. He's got the knees down, then the ball comes out. But my interpretation is, Joe Jim, when you are being taken to the ground by a defender, You got to keep it through the whole process.
You see the ball squirt out. Webb would get up and roll over on it if it was. He made an appeal right away. They already have Rayner out on the field in field goal formation.
Yeah, they're going to kick the field goal if they do not win the challenge, because still plenty of time. 3:12, down 20-7. Gets them within 10 if they make the field goal.
It would be a long one for Rayner, who has the big leg. It would be 45 yards. He was 26 of 36 last year for the Packers.
You know, Jim, you go just looking at this game real quick, you think, wow, it's looked like domination by the Chicago Bears, but we were talking about it. It's 10 Devin Hester points up there. The 2 returns that gave him a touchdown and a field goal.
In the process of making a catch, the receiver, if he's going to the ground, must maintain control of the ball through that whole process when he hits the ground. In this case, the ball came loose when he hit the ground. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. The ruling on the field is correct. Kansas City will be charged with their first.
So they lose the challenge. Then you reading the fine print comes through yet again.
Yeah, well, you know, they jump up and say challenge it, coach, but the rule is, and it's a lot of different interpretations of pass catches. But when you are taken to the ground in the end zone or in the field of play by a defender, you got to basically catch it, get up with it, and hand it to the official.
Well, there's Rayner, who lost his job up at Green Bay to Mason Crosby. So just signed this week, taking over the job that looked like it was going to Justin Medlock. Only 1 of 2 last week, their 5th round pick. They cut him, they brought in Rayner. Sidewinder from 45. Boy, that's a beauty. So they get 3 points off the Harris interception. It's a 10-point Chicago lead, late 3rd.
The studio about Rex Grossman, and he's in a position where between the defense, they can run the football, and then you got an unbelievable return guy. You got to know what your role and spot is on this football team. And Rex Grossman's done a good job with it today. Then what makes you angry as a quarterback to throw an interception on a screenplay. You know, one that you just say, you mark it up that you're going to complete. Little unlucky.
And again, it was a play where they had just brought in the rookie speedster Garrett Wolfe.
Yep.
We had heard they wanted to try to get the ball in his hands, and
3 times they've tried to get it to different guys. Devin Hester and Garrett Wolfe in all 3 plays have been bad.
They all backfired, particularly the last one. Here's Hester. Hester's free again. Here comes Hester down the sidelines. He's got 1 man chasing him, and Hester is gone again. There is a flag. There is a flag. Back at the 24-yard line.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 59.
And it's coming back.
After this is the goal, 10-yard penalty. Retain possession. First down.
You think he's thinking a little bit about the next time? Are we going to kick it to this guy?
I remember thinking in the Super Bowl, the Indianapolis Colts worked all week on tackling Devin Hester, and they begged Tony Dungy, let's kick to him, we can bring him down. Coaches never listen to the players right in the middle of the field.
And no doubt that was a significant hold.
Yeah, it was a hold. It was a takedown by Rod Wilson. He didn't have to, because Devin Hester was going to run right by the guy anyway.
It looked like it had gone for 95. And here comes Benson barreling out there. Ball out at the end. Hey, you better pick it up, Cedric. Didn't make a real aggressive effort to pick it up.
Well, they're calling it down now.
I think he must have figured he was down. We've got a player down for the Bears.
The injured bear on the play is Fred Miller.
It's lineman, right tackle Fred Miller.
Everybody bunched inside. Cedric Benson breaks outside. And we've had this rule already. When there is contact and you go to the ground cannot cause a fumble. It's close, though. That ball might have been moving as he was going to the ground, too. And like a boxer, protect yourself at all times. Never be nonchalant with a football, regardless of what the situation is during a game.
We've referred to it a few times last week. Benson and Peterson both had their problems. Benson coughing that one up. And then Peterson, both recovered by the Chargers. 2 of the 4 giveaways by Chicago in that loss.
You know, Jim, and it's even more important because when you bill yourself as a running football team, it's not like you just say, well, we just won't run it. We'll throw it all the time. You know, they want this to be the focal point of what they do.
So Fred Miller slowly to the sideline. John St. Clair caught that touchdown. The backup tackle now will assume that right tackle position, replacing Miller. He's groggy. It's Benson. And he dives to the 30, a gain of 2. Ali on the hit. You don't want to miss the new show that has everyone talking. One critic says Kid Nation is the most intriguing and potentially the most socially relevant new reality show of the season. Kid Nation premieres Wednesday at 8/7 Central on CBS. I'm glad there's a socially relevant reality show. And Kid Nation, a lot of buzz about it. You've already predicted it's going to be huge. From the 28, it's Grossman. Wide open man is Berrien. And he just bounced out at the 40. Gain of 10. Move inside at 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Well, Herm Edwards has put a lot of pressure on this defense today. Just keep stopping them. Keep doing it. Get us a turnover. And the pressure's on them again. Not only can you stop them, but can you stop them before field position is changed so dramatically.
And that pass well wide of the mark. You may notice the field here at Soldier Field looks a little worn down. They had a USA-Brazil soccer game last Saturday.
Yeah, who won?
On the field. You tell me.
No.
Brazil won it. Something like 4-2.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We know who scored the goals?
You know, no.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say
second down and 10. And Vincent working that middle. Third down coming up. Third and about 4. Next week we've got regional action on CBS. San Diego against Green Bay. The Packers now 2-0 after Favre threw for 3 touchdowns today. He needs 3 to tie Marino, 4 to become #1 all time in touchdown passes. JB, Dan, Shannon and Boomer and the coach. Coach Cowher next Sunday at noon will lead it all off here on CBS.
Well, they haven't blitzed in 3rd and 5 or less much today. Will the Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs, come after Rex Grossman? The answer is yes.
As here they come, and he never had a shot. It's Harris again, riding him down, rodeo style.
Now the Bears are showing a tremendous weakness of not picking up blitzes so far this year. 3 interior linemen are covered. That is a dead giveaway for an offense that it's going to be a blitz. And he comes up inside. They know it's coming. The running back is who missed the blitz. So the Bears knew it. They diagnosed it. Poor execution.
Napoleon Harris, a Chicago area kid who went to Northwestern, making some plays in this game. Big boot. Johnson has Drummond backpedaling to the 5. And unable to get the angle. Yes, he's able to escape. Wow, turned something out of nothing. About the 27. 60-yard punt, 22-yard run back. As you see, Grossman under pressure in this game. Derek Johnson Got in there a couple of times. Wilkerson's also been active.
It's got to be a little concerning for the Chicago Bears. Yes, this is a pretty good defense the Kansas City Chiefs have, but 2 weeks in a row, your quarterback through blitzes, getting free runners at him, and that's the one thing in the NFL. You don't want those free runners, guys that are not touched and running directly at your quarterback.
From the 27, pass on the slant, it's Bo, and that'll be the last play of the quarter. Each team adding a field goal in the third. It's a 10-point margin. We're back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. And we begin the fourth quarter. From Soldier Field, Jim Nantz, Phil Simms. Bears lead at 20-10. 2nd and 4 for the Chiefs. And Larry Johnson grabbed by the ankles by Anthony Adams. Only a gain of 2. One of his old teammates from Penn State making the tackle, Adams. Chicago winning the time of possession battle after last week having it for only 22 minutes, lowest in the league week 1. Kansas City has missed on its last 8 third down attempts. They bring in Michael Bennett. Flip it to him in traffic. Bouncing out. Looks like he's got the first. Svitek helping clear that left side.
Yeah, between the formation and the quick snap count by Damon Huard, it allows the Kansas City Chiefs just barely beat the Bears to the punch, and good hard running by Michael Bennett, know the situation and get the first down. Well, every first down, it's just such work for this Kansas City offense.
It feels like such a huge win to get one. Huard just able to get rid of it.
Receiver is right by the football. He almost hit the running back. Bennett that time.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The ball's in the vicinity of the back.
Just as you said, so now second down and 10.
Watch the running back as he comes through. Like misses the block. Damon Huard sees him and throws it right at his feet. Good job by Damon Huard avoiding a sack, because you can tell, you've watched this game, hard for them to make up the yards if they have a negative play.
Urlacher was about to get the sack. Here they come. They toss it. Yep, the screen to Johnson. And he twists into Chicago territory at the 47.
That is a good call. The Bears getting a little nervous or antsy, so there comes the pressure. And it's the screenplay is the perfect call against it. Let them come. The blocking down the field. It allows Larry Johnson, and that's what you want to do as an offensive lineman. When you go down the field on the screen, Casey Wigman that time locked up right with the defender.
Wigman once a Bear. He took out a couple of them that time. Picks up 14 yards. Then Michael Bennett in the slot to the left. Hopping back onside was Anderson. They still got the flag down, though, as Wilson makes the grab.
Boy, Damon Huard, too, as I watch him drive it, everything is he's stretching his wrist, his hand, his ribs.
Offside. Defense number 97. 5-yard penalty.
So he did not make it back in time.
Yep. Got his shoulders across, his feet were behind him, and that's why he was offsides.
Pretty impressive looking move, though, you know?
Yeah, well.
Some major style points, but it cost him 5 yards. 1st and 5 coming up.
Mark Anderson, Alex Brown's hurt, and you bring in, or he was. Mark Anderson is such a dynamic pass rusher. Was last week, helped the Bears stay in the game.
A little play action, try to freeze the defense, going long, looking for Bo. It's over his head. Gonzalez was down there in the area again. Maybe they just run in tandem. Gonzalez like to take away one from the rookie next time.
From the outside, Dwayne Bowe does get by the defensive back, Nathan Vasher, but Nathan Vasher with the speed. I talked about it earlier. I saw it last year late in the season. The Bears corners, nobody talks about them too often, but they can play man-to-man against just about any receivers in this NFL.
Tony G. Gonzalez has not caught one in the second half. 3 in the first half. Second down, and that's wide of Wilson. This Kansas City team, you look at the roster now, it's a pretty interesting mix. A lot of new faces. They have, according to Herm, the second most 30-year-olds on the roster, but the youngest team overall when you take into account all the 53 and the practice squad, the top 60 players, particularly new faces on defense. 3rd down and 5. Looking for Johnson again, trying that pass the right side. Urlacher unable to get off the block, and Johnson finds the first down mark. Again, it was Wigman, just as he was able to do on the left side. Clears things on the right side, and Johnson has another first down.
Yeah, they ran it early this time. Good footwork by Damon Huard, gets it. And Larry Johnson, just the way he kind of drags along, it's just such a unique running style. We haven't seen it today where he can pull his leg away from the defenders. But for being big and a tall runner, he can just go forward after contact.
Johnson is out. It's Bennett in the backfield. Back to the quarterback. Looking long, looking for Bowe. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City, but a flag is down.
Calling against Kansas City.
Illegal shift. Offense.
Illegal shift. Well, now they both had a touchdown taken away.
I don't know what the illegal shift is. The formation is legal right here, and it must have happened before. Illegal shift. When you shift in the NFL, you have to start from a formation that's legal. You can't just line up anywhere. So before that, the Chiefs must have been not lined up properly. The final product was legal.
One of those perhaps game-changing penalties.
Oh, absolutely.
Could have been a 3-point game. Huard now with pressure, able to get free and throws it to Webb, who's ridden down by Manning.
Let's see if we can find it. Here they come up. Oh, well, there it is. The illegal shift. They were not set. The tight end was not set before the back came out of the backfield and got down as a tight end. That's what it was.
Michael Bennett remains in the game, and Larry Johnson kind of shaking the right leg and now jogging a little bit on the sideline, trying to loosen up. He was definitely nicked up, LJ. Timeout called by the Bears defense. We come back to Soldier Field, Kansas City, at the 34-yard line of Chicago. Down 10. They're wrapping Larry Johnson's leg on the sideline. They run it with Bennett, and the Bears converge quickly. Adam Archuleta and Brian Urlacher. Double teaming on the tackle. So there it is. You know. They got an interesting situation with Priest Holmes on the PUP, and after 6 weeks, they have to make a decision on that Chief legend trying to make a comeback. 3rd down and 9. Bennett hopping to the outside. And he gets it just inside the 30. Again, they'll call on Rayner now to try to bring this down to a 1-score game. Be about a 48-yard try.
Brian Urlacher, number 54, reading the play, comes along, gets around. Oh boy, gets around the block by Casey Wigman and just makes a big hit. We talked about him early in the game. He can do it. Run, pass, whatever defense you call, he's good at.
Rayner has made it already from 45. This is 3 yards longer. This to bring it down to 7. Ball is blocked. Grossman applauds. Looks like it might have been Israel Adonijah. He had a key block on one of Hester's runbacks, and he got a paw on it this time.
And by Reebok. Be a woman. Be a fan.
Yeah, the Chiefs just had the football for 5 minutes and 11 seconds and got nothing out of it. Adonijah blocking the field goal attempt. And they take over from the point of the attempt at the 38. And a dive straight ahead for Benson. Give him 2 yards. This Thursday on CBS, it's not just a new Survivor, it's TV history in the most mysterious land on earth. Survivor China. The event. It begins Thursday on America's Most Watched Network. Season premiere. Fred Miller, remember, he was shaking up the right tackle. He's back in. Number 69 for the Bears. Second down play. Grossman looking for the sideline. Open is Muhammad, and he drops it. Reaching in was Surtain to knock it loose.
The blitz made Rex Grossman throw it a little softer than he would like. And Patrick Surtain, he is beaten. And Muhammad, he just drops it.
Yeah, he just dropped it.
Patrick Surtain, he was going to go right up in the middle of it and knock it out. Here comes the blitz. Nice job of getting rid of it, right on target. And sometimes as a wide receiver, when you see the football about once a quarter, this makes it hard to get in rhythm and make catches.
Brings up a 3rd and 8 from the 40. Good protection this time. Pass picked off. Pass is picked off by Donnie Edwards. And the Chiefs are back in business.
How big does that missed field go? The flea flicker for a touchdown. The Chiefs have really hung in there with their game plan, and they just keep giving themselves chances to get back in this game. And now they're back in it. They've got a field goal try if they don't lose yardage, and a chance to score to make it close. Rex Grossman just misjudges Donnie Edwards. He sees him, but Donnie Edwards makes a nice break on the ball. Comes right in front.
Career interception number 28, which is tops for all active linebackers. We talked about why he has such a nose for the football last night. He says it's all about visualization. He thinks about plays like that all week long, all night leading into the game, and Larry Johnson is in the backfield. And LJ takes it on the toss, waits for the area to clear, picks up a couple yards. So Grossman's been picked twice.
Yeah, he's been picked twice now. Look what he started with. It was going his way, just like he talked about. And since then,
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. And the Bears 23.
Been rough.
For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Chiefs and Bears. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms. 20-10 Chicago lead, but the Chiefs are threatening. And that's Parker. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately after the game, except on the West Coast, where you'll see it at your normal time.
Damon Heward is playing the exact game that you saw him play almost every time out last year. And really, he played this same game last week against the Houston Texans. He had 2 interceptions that were meaningless in the outcome or anything to do with the game. He just does a terrific job of not taking chances and finding the open receiver.
3rd and short, 3rd and a yard to go. Just inside 8 minutes. Going to try to pass for it. Knocked away at the end and picked off. Daniel Manning. The ball's deflected right into the arms of the 2nd-year player out of Abilene Christian. Charles Tillman tipped it. They were trying to hit Parker. Tillman to his teammates, and the Bears defense steps up big. Chicago with 3 turnovers, but the Chiefs able to only convert that to 3 points in the game. It's Benson. Wide open running lane to the 41. Devin Hester threw a big block for him.
He did, but this interception, Jim, this is what's going to save the game for the Bears. Charles Tillman, the football looked like it was going to be overthrown when he first let it go. And then Charles Tillman, at the last second, sticks his right hand up in there and deflects it to Danielle Manning, and it goes back to what we've said a few times. The overlooked guys on that Chicago defense. Tillman, Nathan Vasher. You can play pressure defense when your corners can hold up, just like Charles Tillman did.
His first down carry again. Benson written down for a loss. Vasher and Tillman both given new contracts in the offseason, as well as head coach Lovie Smith and Jerry Angelo in the offseason for the Bears. But they locked up those 2 corners.
Well, I can see why. They've really hit big on both of them. Nathan Vasher, a 4th-round draft pick, and it just turned out to be a excellent corner in this league. And Charles Tillman, that time, as I've said, I've watched them 4 games. Every time they put them in a tough situation, they've come through.
The last one lost a yard, 2nd and 11, 6.5 remaining. Grossman with a flag down. And one of the Chiefs, that's Boone, pointing to his old teammate across the way, Fred Miller.
I got to tell you the truth, I'm shocked they threw the football. 6 minutes, 2 scores up.
Holding, offense number 74. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
I really am. Keep the clock running. There's Ron Turner, offensive coordinator. So it started out so well for him today. So the Bears, they're going to, if they squeak this win out, fortunate. They'll have to bear down again next week to correct the mistakes they made on the offensive side. Too, Jim, it's confidence. Rex Grossman going well, a lot of confidence, feeling good, and it's unraveled here late in the second half.
And a jumpy where the Chiefs. Grossman tosses it sideline, burying at the 40. Looked like Hali was across.
Offside. Defense number 91. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
It'll take the 5 yards. Take away the completion. It was Hali. Chicago been residing here the first 2 weeks of the season in the AFC West, if you will. Chargers, then Chiefs. Next week they'll host Dallas.
Jim, the Bears declined a penalty.
Oh, they did? Okay.
They did. So they took the 10-yard gain. Now they'll make it 3rd and 10. Or 3rd and 11.
I heard Mike Carey say it remains 2nd down, but I guess on second thought.
Yeah, he was playing coach there for a minute, and he was making the decision, and he was wrong.
Okay. So it's up 3rd and long.
Here comes the blitz.
Grossman unloads. And that won't be nearly enough for any first down consideration. Rasheed Davis. And they're booing.
Well, you shouldn't, because what they did, they kept the clock moving. And that's what it's about. It's about trying to win the game. And again, I don't know. I think I would have just run the football.
Hey, it's Robbie Gould back punting, because we saw Dirk Johnson after that last 62-yard punt. He was in a lot of pain. It looked like he must have pulled a muscle in his left leg.
Yep.
So this will be the 2nd career punt for their place kicker, Robbie Gould. And it goes out of bounds by a mile. Let's see where they angle it. They're still moving up the sideline. Still moving up the sideline. 33-yard line. Chiefs will take over. Just a reminder, 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately after this game, except on the West Coast, where it will be seen at its regularly scheduled time. Well, the Chiefs have had their chances today. One last gasp here from the 33. No chance for Huard as Urlacher comes busting through for the blitz and the sack. A loss of 6.
They do not play it safe, the Chicago Bears.
Second and 15 at the 28.
Bob Babbitt's new defensive coordinator. And he goes, I got a lot of good players. No use sitting back. Let's make it happen.
That's Huard over to Gonzalez. Taken out at the 33. That sack by Urlacher is his first sack since the 2005 season. He did not have a single sack all of last year.
Wow, look how much he's airborne. And you know, Jim, it's going to change. He didn't get sacks because they always needed him in pass coverage. But you can already tell after 2 games, this Bear defense is going to change from what we've seen. So Brian Urlacher is going to be lurking around that line of scrimmage and going after the quarterback a little more.
3rd down and 10. Review for Huard. Flag is down. It's Gonzalez with Manning trying to take the ball away.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty is still 3rd down.
So we back up the Chiefs. Set up a 3rd and 15.
There's Bob Babbage, his first coordinator's job in the NFL. What a unit to take over. How about that, the Bears defense?
Oh, and the Bears defense comes crashing in again. It's Tommy Harris.
What's made them so good in years past is they don't have to bring extra people to get to the quarterback. 4 defensive linemen, that's all there is. They're all capable of getting to the quarterback. That time it was Tommy Harris.
Lovie Smith's first ever draft pick at Chicago. Tommy Harris with the sack. Any more theatrics on the way from Hester? Able to shake off one.
Oh, boy.
Now looking for another angle on the sideline and makes the big run all the way to the Kansas City 48. A 24-yard return following a 52-yard punt. What a game changer.
You pin him against the sideline.
Look who's cheering him on.
Oh, man. I tell you, the punt was perfect. He caught it 1 foot from going out of bounds.
Stay on the ground this time. Benson able to get through a tiny crease to about the 44. Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, everybody wants Alan Greenspan's opinion about the economy. Only one place you can hear it, 60 Minutes tonight. Then a new episode of the summer's hottest reality series, Big Brother, followed by Cold Case and Shark, all on America's most watched network tonight. So timeout called by Kansas City. They have 1 left. How about this day in history? September 16th, 1984. Our own Boomer Esiason made his NFL debut. He went 4 for 7 for 31 yards on the day. And he actually rushed for a touchdown. The Boomer, Norman Boomer Esiason, debuting 23 years ago today.
Well, that's knowing your talent if you're a coach. They only let him throw it 7 times.
Hey, when he left the league, he was 10th all-time in passing yardage.
Hey, you know, Boomer I'll give him that. He could throw it.
Absolutely. Vincent, and again, it was clogged up quickly and lost a yard. 3rd down play coming up. What will the Bears do with it? Another timeout. Kansas City has now used all of their timeouts.
Well, the Chicago Bears, it's been a solid day for them. The questions, I'm sure, when it's over, yes, they won, but the offense, Rex Grossman, there's going to be a lot of questions this week again. And I really thought if he came out and had a solid performance today, that would just quiet everybody down and forget the subject. But a couple interceptions, the lack of scoring, I guess you would say, productivity from the offensive side will keep that going. For the Kansas City Chiefs, besides special teams, they had a lot going their way. The defense didn't completely break down. They've had some tremendous moments, and Damon Huard marched the team down a couple times. If they don't have the penalty with the illegal shift, they're right in the game. So you can see how they want to play this season.
Now, if the Bears don't score another touchdown, you know what they'll be saying this week. Through 2 games, we've scored 1 offensive touchdown. That's what they'll be saying around here.
Absolutely.
And that was by an offensive lineman. John Sinclair. 3rd and 8. We're going up top. Grossman looking for someone, and there is no one around. So out of bounds with it. He goes. Rush coming in at the end by James Reed.
Outside. He wants it. He's not open because there's somebody back there looking at you.
So Robbie Gould has to punt again. 25 yards. His first punt traveled. So they've gone through a couple of punters this week. Maynard out with the groin. Johnson signed here in the last day. He gets injured in this game as well. Pulls a muscle. Fair catch made by Drummond. Chiefs, in those opportunities you talked about on the flea flicker, this was called back, even though it was a brilliant play by Bo.
Yep, man came in motion too quick. Block field goal.
And then the pick. Really a heady play by Tillman.
Yeah, 2 things, 2 times. The Bears made the play, blocking the field goal.
Got Croyle in the game here. Brody Croyle is in for Huard.
Well, it makes sense. Damon Huard is beat up and probably just can't go any longer. Brody Croyle, bigger arm, chance to find a quick strike.
If he gets any time, and there's a flag down. That pocket closed in pretty quick, didn't it?
Wow. It might be on the defense, though, for grabbing his headgear.
Darwin Walker and Tommy Harris colliding on the quarterback.
Personal foul, major face mask.
Yep.
Defense number 91. Grabbing the face mask of the quarterback and turning his head. 15 yards, automatic, first down.
Boy, Tommy Harris, just like last week, just tremendous penetration in the run game and the pass game, and he was double teamed by Larry Johnson. Didn't matter, he ran right through them both.
What do they call that? A welcome to the NFL moment?
Yeah,
Brody Croyle going to be standing back there like raw meat. Going to hand it off. And that's Anderson coming in so quick on Michael Bennett. Then a loss of 2. This Bears defense holding Larry Johnson to 55 yards on 16 carries. Bennett backing him up, 7 carries, 14 yards. Croyle gets the pass away, and that's Parker stepping out near the 39.
Closest Bear was Ricky Manning Jr.
He picks up 10.
Well, you know, listen, this game is far from over. What you want to do is just give yourself a chance at kicking a field goal with some time left on the clock so you can onside kick and at least get a couple throws in the end zone. Of course, the best scenario would be to score a touchdown on this drive.
Croyle got a little one-on-one action going, and that's Webb coming under it. That pass was perfect. Charles Tillman on the coverage.
Yeah, Charles Tillman, Jim, looked back like he thought the ball was gone or expected it short.
Goes for 33 yards. quick hit by Urlacher as Bennett makes the 5-yard grab. They made the quarterback change. This is from the Chiefs because Heward had the wind knocked out of him. He's back to Bennett. Bennett with a nice piece of running, but the ball comes out. Is he down? That's Briggs on the recovery. Chicago football. Bennett making that last extra move, and it cost him. Definitely a fumble.
Charles Tillman with the last hit that knocks it out. You've got to know when you get in this against a team this good, they converge to the football so much. You've got to protect it once the first hit comes. Man, that was a nice drive by the Chiefs and a really good start for Brodie Croyle.
It got some attention, didn't it? And will this week, no doubt. As Benson adds to his numbers. It's a 15-yard run, and Benson has a 100-yard effort. So we reached the 2-minute warning. There it is. Bears doubling up the Chiefs, 20-10.
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggins, and welcome to Bears Recap, brought to you by United Airlines. It's our Monday look back on the Bears game where we break down what went right and what went wrong. Now, later in the show, we'll have Lovie Smith's press conference for you as well from Halas Hall. The Bears beat the Kansas City Chiefs yesterday in their home opener, 20-10, but the Bears really didn't take advantage of many of the opportunities they had to put the game away. Rex Grossman and the Bears were ready for the home opener, and on the Bears' first drive of the second quarter, they started to heat up. On 1st and 10, Cedric Benson slams off the right end for 8 yards, and he had a real solid day on the ground. Now, a few plays later, Rex Grossman caps off a 15-play, 79-yard drive with a 2-yard touchdown pass to John St. Clair, who normally plays offensive tackle, but was at tight end on the goal line. The Bears led 7-zip after the PAT. The Chiefs failed to get a first down in the ensuing possession. They had to punt to Devin Hester. Chiefs punter Dustin Colquitt outkicked his coverage, and that was trouble. Devin Hester takes it back to distance, 73 yards for the touchdown, and the Bears would enjoy a 14-0 lead, and Devin Hester would enjoy another end zone celebration. Now, Rex had a fair day finding Bernard Berrian on 5 receptions for 65 yards. This one went for 21 yards. Rex on the scramble, gets out on the edge and finds his man. That's Bernard Berrian, and he takes off and makes a nice run after the catch. That's a huge block by Musa Mohammed. But the trouble started once again for Rex. He was a victim of an unblocked defender and linebacker Derek Johnson getting in for the sack. 1 of 3 on the day for the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs got things going late in the second quarter. Damon Hewitt finds first-round pick Dwayne Bowe in the right corner of the end zone for the touchdown. That cut the Bears' lead to 17-7 after the extra point. And there was another tough break for Grossman in the third quarter. Back to pass on the screen to Garrett Wolf. Rex is intercepted by the Chiefs' Napoleon Harris, and the Northwestern and Chicago high school product returns it to the Bears' 45. Then on the following kickoff, it's Devin Hester again. This time he returns the kickoff 95 yards for what looked like a touchdown. But wait, with all of this wonderful running, with all that wonderful blocking, didn't you have the feeling that something might be wrong? It was a penalty on the play. Rod Wilson is flagged for holding on the play, so it comes back. Now the Chiefs had a touchdown call back as well, though, in the fourth, with the Bears up 20-7 off the flea flicker. Damon Hewitt finds Dwayne Bowe in the end zone on a 35-yard pass, but it's called back. KC is called for an illegal shift. There was one more interception to come for Rex Grossman, however. He's picked off in the fourth quarter by Donnie Edwards on a 3rd and 8. And once again, over the middle, didn't see the linebacker coming back the other way. And it's a nice return for Donnie Edwards and the Chiefs. Now, the Bears defense was getting busy on this day. On a play at the end zone, Peanut Tillman blocks a Hewitt pass to Bowe, and it is picked up by Daniel Manning. He returns the football down to the 28. And the defense finished off the turnover fest when Peanut forced a Michael Bennett fumble that was recovered by Lance Briggs. Lance also had a huge day against the Chiefs. Now the important thing is the Bears, though, they get the win 20-10. And there's your scoreboard. You see Damon Hewitt, 19 of 28, 175 yards, 1 touchdown and an interception. You see Larry Johnson held to 55 yards on 16 carries. Cedric Benson, 24 carries, 101 yards, and Devin Hester with that 73-yard punt return for a touchdown.
I'm always happy when we win. And, I was extremely happy with our offense at times, and then other times not so much. And I take, full blame for those 2 turnovers. And, but I didn't feel it in the second half like we felt in the first half. And we just need to put 2 halves together, and it wouldn't have been close.
Hey, man, offensive line, Rex did a great job of just setting it up. I made 1 play, I'm just thank God Coach Turner made the call. But the offensive line and Rex set it up pretty well.
With the teammates and the players that we have on this team, I feel that I can do anything, We got one of the best special teams in the NFL, You guys go out each and every day and lay it on the line. Even in practice, that's all we talk about is great return, And we just carry it out on the game.
It meant a lot early in the season to finally get into your groove, get a good game, get a hunt, get it out of the way, and hope to look to keep those numbers up week in, week out.
I believe the display today was not up to our, for Dallas, we got to bring this up. I was pretty disappointed at the first half. I couldn't really snap out of it, whatever I was in. So second half, I finally came out and started playing like we're supposed to. But we have to pick it back up. It's a sad thing when you win and you're still disappointed. So it just tells you everybody thinks of this defense, how much we think of one another. So we'll pick everything up and get back ready for Dallas.
Okay, here's a question for you. Could Devin Hester be the best return man the Bears have ever had? After his All-Pro rookie season, he's certainly making his case for that honor in his sophomore campaign. Check out his body of work from yesterday's game. First, with a 73-yard punt return for a touchdown. You don't always happen. None of this happens without some good blocking up front. I want you to look for something. Number 52, that's Jamal Williams, the fine linebacker for the Bears. Watch him throw a block right there. Takes his man to the turf on the sideline, and Devin Hester says, so long and good night, everybody. Now, he also had another nice punt return, this one for about 30-some yards. You see there, finding his way, almost gets away on this one as well. And if you're thinking about kickoff returns, you ask yourself, hey, how does he do there? Well, 95 yards on this one. Unfortunately, it was called back because I think it was a terrible call. There's no such thing as holding in football. Devin Hester, though, takes it down that sideline, and he was gone. And again, here are his numbers on the day. And this does not reflect, unfortunately, that 95-yard kickoff return. But to look at the punt returns, and look at the average there, 28.6. And, of course, the longest being that 73-yarder from Sunday. For his career, it is his 4th touchdown on punt returns. And after the game, his teammates had nothing but praise for him.
He's unbelievable. I mean, I don't know how to describe it to someone that wasn't there and didn't see it. It's just like, he cuts and moves at full speed. And he just runs with so much confidence, like he's just playing tag out there and just messing with them. He's unbelievable.
He's amazing. He's lightning. He's fast. He's great. He's all that. He's Devin Hester. He's the Windy City. He's guaranteed 7 points. If he has the ball in his hand, he's the man.
Oh, he's amazing. Everyone on our special teams know when that guy gets the ball in his hands, anything can happen. So we just try to work our butts off, trying to get the blocks for him, and we know he's going to make something happen.
They tried to kick high hang time punts, which they did a pretty good job with that, but Devin, on the one long one at the end there, he did a good job of catching it, and even with the guy in his face, made a guy miss first, and then was still able to get to the wall. So, the guy, he amazes me all the time.
All right, now back to the offense. And part of the reason why the Bears have been struggling there to be consistent on the offensive side of the football is that the passing game has been inconsistent. Rex Grossman has allowed turnovers to ruin his second halves in both games. There were times yesterday where it appeared that Rex took steps back. After a solid first half, Grossman couldn't get in a rhythm in the second half through 2 interceptions. The first one The screen pass intended for Garrett Wolf. The second one to Donnie Edwards, claiming that during the game he couldn't see Donnie Edwards. Now, his improved quarterback play is something that Lovie Smith knows he has to get.
From the 40. Good protection this time.
And let's take a look at the numbers from the first 2 games for Rex. And they just aren't good, folks. Rex has struggled, but especially in the second half. Grossman has just a 33.7 quarterback rating in the third and fourth quarters through the first 2 weeks. The Bears need improvement with the Cowboys coming to town in Soldier Field this coming weekend. Now, one area of concern that must improve is to pick up the blitz of the opposing teams. By doing so, it will help Rex Grossman settle down and give him time to make plays down the field in the passing game. The Bears allowed 3 sacks by the blitz, and the Chiefs took a page out of the Chargers book by doing a great job of getting to the quarterback. All right, time now for us to take our first commercial break here on Bears Recap. When we come back, we'll hear from head coach Lovie Smith the day after his team delivered a 20-10 season-opening win in the home opener. Well, it may not have been the prettiest of victories, but in the NFL, style points really don't matter. And Lovie Smith's team is now 1-1 on the season, and the coach is pleased to get that first win of the season in the books.
It was a good, hard-fought win yesterday against Kansas City. It's always good to get your first win of the season, and it didn't come easily. We had a lot of people that contributed to the win. We talk about it, the 4 phases: the fans, special teams, offense, and defense. Special teams wise yesterday, of course, a lot has been said about the game Devin Hester had. He's a special player. I think 18 games into his career, he's already had more touchdowns than anyone else in the history of our organization, which is saying quite a bit. The punt return that he had, kickoff was a special play also. It's a shame we can't officially put it on the books, but we'll keep it going on our highlights just in case. Defensively, we got a lot of work done also. Whenever you limit a player like Larry Johnson that way, and really 2 weeks in a row, we played arguably the 2 best running backs in the league, back-to-back, and held both of them down in check rushing-wise. We talk a lot about takeaways. We were able to get 2 yesterday. We would still like to see that number go up. But Danielle Manning's play, we talk about running to the football a lot. That was just an effort play. Great play by Charles Tillman, and great play by Danielle Manning with the tip. And then Lance Briggs, who's played at a Pro Bowl level, I would say. For the first 2 games, a big takeaway of him stripping the football too. We had good pressure on the quarterback. The sacks, of course, came at the perfect time. Good to see Urlacher, get a sack. Good to see Briggs get a sack. I think it's been a long time since we've had 2 linebackers get a sack in the first game. We had a lot of 3 and outs, so I was pleased with how the defense played. Offensively, we did some good things. Whenever you can we have a running back that rushes for over 100 yards. We, of course, being the Chicago Bears, we like that quite a bit because we're a running football team. Cedric Benson ran the ball extremely hard yesterday. Getting over 100 yards is big, but I like the way he hit the holes. He had a lot of yards after contact, and that's what we're all about. The takeaways or the turnovers on the offensive side is something that we have to eliminate. It's as simple as that. Passing game-wise, we didn't get a lot done yesterday with it, and we have to eliminate the turnovers in order for us to go to that next step. Of course, we have Dallas coming in this week. Big game. I think they're, one of the top offenses in the league, averaging over 400 yards, per game. They've scored quite a few points each game, so it'll be a big challenge for us. So we're 1-1 right now. Big game coming up this week, and we'll take it from there. Question?
Lovie, can you put your hand on it offensively in the passing game? What's not clicking or anything like that?
Well, passing, if you're doing well pass-wise, it's a combination of things. Of course, it's protection. It's a quarterback throwing the ball to the receivers, pitching, catching. Right now I'm going to say the entire operation We're just not there. It's kind of as simple as that. And we've had our moments where you could probably point to all the different areas, but we'll just continue to work. You know, it's still early in the year. We made progress offensively, as I saw it this past week, getting our running game going. The next phase of it, of course, will be to bring the passing game along with it, too.
The explanation given, at least for how things bogged down in the second half yesterday, seemed to be that the Chiefs had a lot of great calls, that, you know, your plays were a bad situation because of these calls the Chiefs had. I mean, is that just Ron getting outguessed by Gunther, or how do you say that?
Ron getting outguessed by Gunther. No, I wouldn't say that happened. Since we won the football game, I'd say we probably guessed right the majority of the time. When you get a 17-0 lead on a team, sometimes you can relax a little bit and not play as well as you need to, and that's what we did. But again, I see our football team as a team that's getting better. We made progress. We didn't finish the game yesterday, but again, we made some ground, and hopefully we'll take another step this week.
Has Rex made the improvement from first full year starting into the second year yet? I mean, through 2 games, have you been able to see tangible things that, yeah, he's better at this than he was a year ago, and if so, what?
Well, I don't think you make any calls based on what you've done after 2 games. I think you need to go into the first quarter a little bit. I think from the first to the second game, hopefully you can see some improvement then. It doesn't always work that way. We are taking steps. We just haven't been able to see it all in our play right now. But I think it's still a little early to say, you know, this happened last year and then start judging it based on what's happened after 2 games right now. I say give us a little bit more time. Hopefully it'll be this week. Have a big game coming up. Our only primetime game at home that we have. Big game. If I was a betting man, I'd say that we'll take a big step, and we need to take a big step as much as anything. We're not where we want to be as a football team. I can't give you reasons why. That's why we go to the practice field and we try to correct those things, and that's what we'll do, and hopefully we'll make some more progress this week.
Big plays, Lovie, in the offense. I mean, when teams are blitzing you, sometimes you get the big play. That's what they open up. Is that the thing that surprised you a little bit, that you haven't seen kind of the downfield stuff that everybody was watching in all your preparations?
Well, we do need to get the ball downfield a little bit, Mike. Yes. In training camp, we saw a lot more production from our offense. I'm saying the same thing. But I still think it's a work in progress. And our entire team is right now. After 2 games, I don't think we've had a chance to show you exactly where we are right now. But I talk with the team about steps you take. Last week we talked about our running game. You guys haven't asked anything about the running game so far. So evidently you're saying that we made progress with the running game. I'm saying we did. And I'm saying that we're going to make some more progress with our passing game this week. Hopefully we can get Olsen back before long. That should give us a boost also. Devin Hester, the first game, didn't have the production he had returning kicks. Hopefully, we took a step with that. Hopefully we'll take another step with some of the things we can do with him and with the rest of our offense this week.
When Rex talked about the interceptions, he said didn't see Edwards on that one, and the screen pass kind of just sailed on him. Are those easily correctable mistakes, do you think?
Well, easily corrected, those are things that we have to correct. I mean, it's about, throwing, not being able to get the passing game going and not, having 400 yards of total offense offensively is one thing. But ball security is a big deal to us. And we have to eliminate the turnovers. It's as simple as that. We have to eliminate the turnovers on one side of the ball, and on the other side, we have to take the ball away. That's a part of what we are as a football team.
When you look at Dallas and what they've managed to do in terms of the points they've scored, they've got a new offensive coordinator. Are they following the same type of thing they did, Lovie, from previous times you've watched them? Or seem to be achieving the idea that they got a new guy in and you're kind of learning him as he goes around the league a little bit?
Well, I think that's some of it. Really, right now, Mike, I haven't studied the Cowboys a lot right now. I've, You know, I really believe in taking care of your team first. And the best way for us to get ready for the Cowboys first is to spend a lot of time on correcting things that we need to from the last game and going from there. We have plenty of time to hit them. I watched them a little bit, but I can't talk about them in detail. I just know what they are defensively. You know, 3-4 team with a lot of good athletes. Put pressure on you, and offensively, I know they're stars. I know what they're trying to do, but beyond that, I can talk a little bit more a little bit later on in the week on them.
All right, and up next for the Bears is that Sunday night nationally televised encounter with those Dallas Cowboys here on the lakefront. The Cowboys come in with a 2-0 record on the strength of their waxing of the Dolphins 37-21 yesterday. Under Lovie Smith, the Bears have had a lot of success on Sunday night. In 5 career games, Smith has a 4-1 record on Sunday night. The Bears had 3 Sunday night games last year. One blemish was the infamous New Year's Eve game last season against the Packers. They won that one 26-7. All right, time now for a quick break here on Bears Recap. Coming up next, we'll break down the Bears running game and the emergence of Cedric Benson as the load back. Bears Recap Mondays at 5, and then on Wednesdays and Thursdays, it's Bears Blitz, a full hour of all things Bears with a breakdown of the offense on Wednesdays and the defense on Thursdays. On game day, as soon as the Bears game goes final, flip right over to Comcast Sportsnet. We've got you covered with a Bears post-game live, a full hour and a half of analysis of the game, including Lovie and Rex pressers, live, and also lots of player interviews. Now, yesterday we found out a bit about how Cedric Benson and his offensive line respond to the challenge. After having his toughness questioned and the run game in general beat down, the group lined up and pounded the Chiefs for 107 yards. Here's how the numbers worked out in the run game. As you can see, Cedric was consistent all day. He had 6 carries in every quarter and rushed for nearly the exact same yardage in both halves. And after the game, Cedric was asked if it felt good to get that monkey off his back.
I didn't feel like I had a monkey on my back. Personally, though, I put a lot on myself just to improve, just to do better. It's small things that I feel like I could have improved on. And I think we did. I think personally I did a good job of tackling those things. But I didn't feel like I had a monkey on my back or nothing. But it is good, though, to get 100 yards and, you know, come out feeling good, get a win, all that good stuff.
Send a statement to those guys that said you were sorry.
I think today could have sent a statement, yeah, no question.
This Sunday, the Cowboys are rolling to town for that Sunday night matchup. They're 2-0 and looking like a team that's ready to make a move. They're getting excellent play from a guy with local roots, quarterback Tony Romo. Yesterday against the Dolphins, he went 14-29 for 186 yards and a touchdown. He also ran the ball 4 times for 36 yards. The key was for him, Romo, no interceptions. He is currently 3rd in the NFC with 531 passing yards. He leads the NFC with a 119.3 quarterback rating, 6 touchdowns in just 2 games. Well, that's it for today's edition of Bears Recap, brought to you by our friends at United Airlines. Keep it right here, because coming up next is Chicago Tribune Live. You got to know a little bit something about championships. Bulls GM John Paxson. So long, everybody.
You can practice risk avoidance. You can aspire to blend in quietly. You can live in, wear, and drive social.
David, let's start with you. A win is a win, but when your level of expectation is going and winning a Super Bowl, was yesterday mildly disappointing?
Well, it didn't feel like a win. I think, you know, that was the thing. Even the players afterward, there was a level of dissatisfaction that I think that their standard is higher, and I think it should be, and it needs to be. They did some things well. I mean, yesterday, you know, we put a lot of pressure on Cedric Benson going into the game, and he delivered a 100-yard game. It was solid. I don't know if it was spectacular, so that was progress. You know, I think the thing that everybody is waiting, you know, in Chicago, whether it's fans, media, whatever, people want to see real progress from Rex Grossman, and we overdo it. We talk about it, we talk it to death, but there's that much pressure on him, and there's that many. You know, they need him to do that, and I think people are so eager to see that when he throws 2 interceptions in the 4th quarter in the second half, it's deflating. And I think that's what it was yesterday. They won. You don't want to draw any conclusions because it's only the second game of the season, but he's like, oh.
Is he getting dangerously to a point in his career where
this is what he is. And, I mean, there's not going to be any more progress because he's pretty much hit his ceiling as a player. And I think we're probably getting to that point where how much more progress can you expect him to make as a quarterback? I'm not sure, you know, we really can expect all that much more from him. I think what you see right now is pretty much what you're going to see 5 years from now.
Robin, what do you think?
Well, good point, Bob. You know, it is what it is. And I don't think we're going to see that much more improvement out of Rex Grossman. I mean, thank goodness we've got a defense, we've got special teams, in particular in number 23, Devin Hester. I tell you what, every opposing special teams coach got to think, how do you kick away from this guy? But let me tell you something, when that ball's traveling 50 to 70 yards on kickoffs and whatever, it's hard to put it out there. You know, Devin Hester is the most exciting. He is the price of the ticket going into that Soldier Field.
But
you know,
you've got to expect improvement from Grossman, don't you? I mean, this is your make.
But how much more improvement? And like you said, it is his make or break year, and this is a big year on both ends because, you know, are we going to get to a point where midway through the year the Bears are going to have a decision made on him for next year, or? You know,
look at you know where he ranks in the quarterbacks out of the 32? Number 32 with a 55.1 quarterback rating. That doesn't get it done. I know it's only the second week of the year, but I can name 5 things why he's got issues.
All right, now let me ask you this. You were out there all camp long. We kept hearing that he and his quarterbacks coach would work all summer long, hour upon hour, that he wouldn't throw off his back foot. Yesterday, he's going to throw a screen pass to Garrett Wolf, and it's off his back foot, and he sails it, and it's picked off. Is Bob maybe accurate there?
Well, no, I'm surprised that he's, you know, kind of lapsed into some of these bad habits. You know, because during camp he looked pretty solid. He looked like he was a guy who really focused in the offseason, and I still think that he's capable of reaching that next level, and I think he can improve. I guess I would maybe disagree a little bit. I think it's still possible that Rex could get better and remove some of these errors because I do think they need to protect him better. And I think when you see him pressured, and every team's going to come at the Bears the same way now, it's going to be an all-out assault, and they're going to blitz everybody. They're going to throw the kitchen sink because if this guy gets time, he's a dangerous quarterback. But if you pressure him, you force him into being more of a check-down guy, a slant thrower.
No comfort.
A game manager, and he's a game breaker. And I think when you have these deficiencies protecting the passer, it forces him into bad mistakes and bad fundamentals that you haven't seen, and you didn't see it during training camp.
Well, 2 things, too. He doesn't like to work out of the shotgun. I think in today's game in the National Football League, if you don't work out of the shotgun, you've got some issues. And number 2, he doesn't have good feet. I mean, quick feet. You know, in the combine, from what I hear, he ran a 5.1, 5.15, 5.2 40 in his 40-yard dash. To me, that's not very quick feet.
I think I'd be more inclined to say there's progress ahead if in college he didn't throw a lot of interceptions, but he threw a lot of interceptions in college. I mean, this is something that he's always done, and I think, like you said, he's a game breaker, and when you're a game breaker,
you take chances.
You take chances, and I don't think he's the kind of guy that you're going to ever say is going to be like a 25 touchdown, 8 interception guy. I think he's going to always be somewhere in the teens as far as interceptions are concerned, and I think from a Bears standpoint, you're just going to have to say, can we live with this, or is this something that just we can't handle this? And you know, it's all going to come down to whether they keep winning. But
I don't disagree that you have to have a lot, shorter leash, as the phrase, this year than last year. But let's also be fair. I mean, he is the type of quarterback that needs to throw the ball downfield more than Ron Turner has allowed him to throw it. And I think defenses have certainly taken away the deep ball against the Bears in the first 2 games, and that's to be taken into consideration. But you've got to let